My name is Summer Met. I'm from Madawaska, Ontario, and I am 12 years old. I am here to let the world know, especially the Government of Canada, that we demand a proper education like any other Canadian child. This is one of Shannon's dreams, to have a proper education, and this is what she would want us to have. And I wanted to tell you something. My mom and dad are talking about moving to a city where a real school and proper education is. I don't want to leave my home. We want a proper education. We want the Government of Canada to give us that, and we are demanding that we will not stop until each one First Nation child has it.
Lisi, tasiyak mo lisi mo susiapi. Katagaw yu viniolok semma.
Lazy Moses Yapik est tombé d'un traîneau, un camoutique, qui était attaché derrière une motoneige qui se rendait de nuit à Tassiouyak. Le conducteur ne s'est aperçu de sa disparition que beaucoup plus loin. Elle s'est ensuite perdue et on ne l'a pas retrouvée sur le sentier. Le jour levé, la police de Kuujjuaq est venue me voir pour que je parte à sa recherche. J'ai dit oui, comme toujours. Je n'avais qu'un petit avion de 2 places à l'époque. J'ai survolé le sentier avec Norman Ford, mon copilote. Nous l'avons retrouvé près du lac Diana, le lac Kasigiarsiuvik, à flanc de colline. Elle était debout, comme morte, les jambes prises dans une neige durcie comme de la glace. Norman a dû dégager Lizzie avec une hache. Cela a pris pas mal de temps. Le mauvais temps approchait en plus. Je devais obligatoirement ramener Norman et Lizzie en même temps. On a installé Lizzie avec ses pieds qui s'appuyaient sur mes épaules et nous avons réussi à revenir à Kuujjuaq.
My first lover was a Puerto Rican hooker. I was a sailor. I didn't know any better.
Do we want a society where men can buy sex? Yes. I've had sex with over 5,300 clients. Like, I know what I'm talking about here.
Ontario sex trade workers celebrate a significant and rare legal victory.
I don't believe it.
As we stated in the press release, we're all deeply troubled by the decision handed down. What we need to do in the legacy of Picton's victims is criminalize the male demand.
Once you decriminalize that demand, then it validates the need to produce a supply.
We didn't come here today to commercialize prostitution. We've come here to open up really rudimentary safety measures.
I just melted. I went from being terrified to within minutes going, this is so right.
We have a model where sex workers have a lot of options. They can work for themselves, they can work in managed brothels.
What sort of age group, darling, are you looking for? Excellent, wonderful. Are you looking for blonde or brunette?
But I mean, I'm well educated, I've got my degrees. I could do lots of other things if I wanted to. But I felt more used and exploited working a minimum wage job where I get 10-minute lunch breaks.
You must know that there was 30 years of research, a feministic movement lobbying for criminalizing the buying of sexual services.
People say that this is nothing we do here. To buy sex is not allowed in this society.
We have changed the face of Canada's prostitution laws. Not everybody will benefit from this decision.
None of my friends will make it inside. Aboriginal women won't make it inside.
It's completely logical. However, logic doesn't usually enter into any debates around prostitution.
This is not about personal morality, whatever that might be, that this is about power, which is something quite different.
I started thinking about the subject of debt for a number of reasons, but among them was my puzzlement over a turn of phrase. He's paid his debt to society. What happens when people don't pay their debts, or can't pay their debts, or won't pay their debts? What if the debt is one that by its very nature cannot be repaid with money?
You know, we're used to disasters here, not dreaming it was going to be as bad as it got.
Wealthy countries are the major contributors to the growing ecological debt, the debt that human beings owe the planet.
I think there is this deep sense that human society is unjust.
If you are poor in a free market, freedom is just another word for nothing that you can afford.
The natural sense of justice is a Darwinian matter where people should take what they can get.
There have been abuses and they're horrible.
What is going on in the tomato fields is so bad that it defies words.
I was a prisoner myself. I don't think prison is the answer, but the concept of people paying a debt to society has largely been lost sight of.
I'm by no means innocent. I steal, I buy drugs, I get caught within a couple of weeks and come back to prison for a few years. This, to me, is not paying back.
How we think about it changes how it works.
Can you describe the whole story in your own words?
What? The entire story? I guess I better pee first.
I'm interested in the way we tell stories about our lives, about the fact that the truth about the past is often ephemeral and difficult to pin down.
Well, I guess if you could start by describing Mom in as much detail as possible.
My memory of Mom is she was a fun person at parties, that she laughed loud.
Michael was a private person, and Diane was not a private person. She yearned for more.
She was very warm, you know, full of life. But I do think it's really interesting to look at this one thing that happened and how it's refracted in so many different ways.
What I overheard was Mom saying that she was pregnant and that she wasn't sure who the father was.
I was like 13 and my sister first told me, you know, your dad's probably not your real dad.
I remember we talked about how you didn't look like Dad, and Dad joked about it.
Someone thought your father might be someone that Mom had acted with in a play.
You might
want to meet up with Harry Galkin. He can probably shed more light on the possibility of your mother having had an affair with a member of the cast.
You asked him the question, have you ever heard anything about my mum having had an affair?
Was it Tom or Wayne or Jeff?
Was there ever anything romantic in your relationship with Mom, or was it always just friendship?
What about you? I sat there in abject silence. My God, we've been joking about all this stuff for years. Forget about me.
She spent her whole life looking for love, and I remember feeling really happy that she had found love and that she'd been loved that much.
Is this the tsunami she unleashed when she went? And all of us still flailing in her wake?
How ironic it is that the final revelation and its aftermath have brought Sarah and I closer together. What about
Disfruta. Que Juan este que vaya. Meio después, güey.
All she said to me was to be good and to listen. And she never said any more. They had no expectations. I don't think they could even fathom what would happen